Hi, it's me, Dawn, Moonlight Princess, the Vindictive Witch, whatever you want to call, it's okay with me. Please bear with me today. I am awfully sick. I've been sick. This house, my kids have been sick and throwing it back and forth. So I keep getting sick, getting better, then getting sick again. So please bear with me while I try to do this. That's why I haven't made a video in a minute. I've just been trying to deal with all this. I thought I'd try something really fun today. I love watching and participating in those pick a deck tarot videos. And I know you know what I'm talking about. The ones where they'll have like maybe 4 decks out and they'll say pick, resonate with one of them and then pick that deck and then let me know what it is and I'll let you know what your cards say. Well, I've been wanting to make one of these so badly, so I decided to do it today. Sorry. So, I'm going to show everybody the 4 decks. I pulled 4 piles, and I have it on my dragon altar. So just bear with me. There's a lot of incense, ash, and stuff. So, hold on one second. This is my dragon altar. And this over here is my goddess. That's like I call it my Freya altar. Because originally, a few years back, it started out as an altar just for Freya. And then over the years, I added several more goddesses to that altar. And so I just call it my goddess altar. And then this is my dragon. So now, you see we have this deck number 1 with the kissy lip. So we'll call it kissy lip deck number 1. Then there's kissy lip deck number 2. Kissy lip deck number 3. Can't say that real quick. And kissy lip deck number 4. So there you go. There's let me try to do it this way. The 4 piles, really, I should say. Not deck, but piles. So what I need all of you to do for a second is just kind of look at each pile, get its feel for the energy, and then decide which pile is yours. I'm going to be using a couple of different decks for this reading. The main tarot cards is from my first and just favorite deck of all, and that is the Golden Tarot of the Renaissance. You can tell by my box. It's just I've had it a minute, but that's the main reading. Those are the cards I just pulled now. Then I'll be pulling cards from. Well, each one will have one additional card from the Goddess Power deck I have. Then each pile will have another one from my Moonology cards. And one from my Isis deck. So that's the way I'm going to be pulling each pile. Okay, so we're going to start with deck number 1. Yes, I said deck again. I'm going to probably keep doing that. Instead of pile, I'm going to say deck. Just get over it now. If you just get over it now, you'll be fine for the rest of the video. Because right now, I can barely think straight. So, pile kissy lip deck number 1. This is for you guys. If you resonated with this deck pile here, number 1, the cards that were pulled for you are the Queen of Wands in the upright position, the Ten of Swords reversed, and the Knight of Wands. So I just pulled the 3 from the Golden Tarot of the Renaissance. And again, I said that was the Queen of Wands, the Ten of Swords reverse, and the Knight of Wands. And before I go into each one, I'm going to reveal all the cards, and then I'll get into the meanings. So the next card for pile number 1, the Goddess card, is Persephone. Okay. The Moonology card is the 3rd quarter moon. Adjustments are required. And the Isis card is Lady of the Stars. Okay, that's your reading. And now I'll go ahead and get into the explanation of it. Now, the Queen of Wands, that represents that you might be feeling very optimistic right now. Optimistic, full of energy. You may have a lot of things going on at one time. A lot of just, they say balls in the air and you're just going, and with success. So let me add that as well. People might be looking at you and just really impressed at just how you're doing it. How does she have all that energy? I wish I had that kind of energy. That type of thing. But of course, with that kind of energy and that kind of stuff going on, things might also tend to be a little chaotic at the time as well. So you might be in the process of organizing or prioritizing certain things to get yourself a little more organized in this. And if you're not, you might want to. This also represents somebody who might have a hot temper, who might be a little forgetful sometimes and have a hot temper. The second card I got was the Ten of Swords. And this one was in the reversed position. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. When this card appears, it's representing that things seem to be getting better. So if you've been having some struggles, if you've been having some issues, things should seem to be looking up and getting better at this point by now. It represents getting over the worst, surviving disaster. It's that type of card. So whatever you might have been going through was that hurtful or whatever it is, but now it's representing you finally getting over this, missing a disaster, getting over a disaster. Then you have the Knight of Wands, and that card represents, again, all three cards seem to blend. Things going better than expected, just like it talked about in the other two cards. I mean, the Ten of Swords said things getting better, and the Queen of Wands said feeling optimistic and full of energy. So it seems to be flowing. So it's things going better than you expected. Again, just like the Queen of Wands, it says full of energy and feeling confident, same as the Queen of Wands. But it's also asking that to please look before you leap, because you may, this person tends to be hasty and want to just do things without thinking things through, which could sometimes cause some chaos. So look before you leap, think it through before you, do anything, final. Let's see what else. It says this person also doesn't like to be restricted. So this person is a great person. But the minute they feel like they're being restricted, held back, or whatever, they could become not so nice. They could be, they can, push people away. They love their freedom. They love their freedom. They love to be. So those three cards blended together beautifully. So then I take the Persephone card, okay? Now the Persephone card is a card of intuition, trusting yourself, spiritual awareness, and it also encourages you to listen and learn. It brings you right back to the Knight of Wands, when the Knight of Wands is saying, hey, think before you leap. Don't just be so quick to go, think, listen, learn, then make your move. So the Persephone card is telling you the exact same thing. Then the Moonology card was the third quarter moon, which is adjustments are required. So this is a lot about balance. You have to figure out what things you need to adjust in your life to shift everything, to finally get to this place where things are going to be going better and things are going to be staying better. Because if things haven't been going good and you really haven't made many adjustments, I can promise you the adjustments are still going to have to be made. Things aren't just going to start going great and you just keep living the life you were living, especially if it wasn't being, especially if you adjustments needed to be made before. So in order to keep, it's like having a car. When, you get a nice luxury car, any car, but look, I have a Mercedes, so I'm going to stick on the lines of a Mercedes, because not only is it a luxury car, they're expensive as fuck to fix. So, because it's foreign. But you have to think of it that way. You want this car, you have to now maintain it. You don't just get the car and never change the oil, never, you run it on no gas. You don't do that. You don't level out the oil. The fluids, no, you have to maintain it every 3 months. You do your thing. Same concept. If when things start going good, especially because you don't want to go back to where you were, you're going to have to make some adjustments. Adjustments could come in the form as cutting people free, cutting them loose from you, or even bringing new people aboard. So it's a lot of different things, a new job and, a new place to live. A lot of adjustments can be made to just better your future. So that's what that card's talking about. And the last card was the Isis card. It was the Lady of the Stars. Now, I'm not going to get too deep. And where is it here? Because I love that deck, but each card is like a whole, like, for example, like, it's a whole, like, 2.5 pages of what the card, this blah, 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 blah. So I just narrow it down, to, I am sorry, to a couple words, a sentence or two, whatever it could be, to just kind of give, the feeling, the energy of the card. So with the Lady of the Stars, the whole message I pull from this is peace, humility, and empowerment, okay? And again, with that blends with everything else because, when we talked to the Queen of Wands, we talked about all the energy and things going your way, and the Ten of Swords is things getting better, surviving disaster. The Knight of Wands is, again, things getting better, being confident, but looking before you leap. And then it's just empowerment. There's a lot of empowerment there. There's a lot of things getting better. Trust yourself. Like I talked about with the Persephone card. Trust yourself. So there's a lot of empowerment. So this makes a lot of sense. Peace and humility. Being humble. Stay humble is very important. And again, when you make those adjustments, you have peace. You have, all kinds of wonderful things that happen. So I think that's a great reading. I hope it resonated with the people that picked it. If it did, I would love to hear your stories. You don't have to give me your details. I don't want you to be like, that's a little private, bitch, no. But I just would love to hear, in what way, in order to keep your own privacy, that it resonated. And if it didn't, just keep hold on to those. I hear other people say all the time, if this doesn't resonate with you, you might want to pick another deck. No, I don't. I will never say that. And the reason I will never say that is because you picked this deck for a reason. There are no coincidences. So if you pick this and it ain't resonating with you, either you're in denial about something, or it's something yet to come, or it's somebody you know. So just don't give up hope on those cards, because if you're not resonating with it and you picked it, I promise you it's going to come into play in some form. Now let's go to the next one. Kissy Lips Pile Deck number 2. So here we are with Kissy Lips Pile Deck number 2. Okay, so those of you who chose this deck, these are your cards. This is your reading. The first card, the Lover's card. Second card, Judgment in the reversed position. Third card, Moon in the reversed position. Now we're going to go to the Oracle cards. The Goddess card, Newt. The Goddess Newt. The Moonology card, New Moon in Pisces. Meditate and contemplate. And then the Isis card, the Knot of Isis, energetic stabilization with the buckle of the beloved. So, everyone that chose pile deck number 2, this is your reading. Okay, for everyone that chose pile deck number 2, the first card that you got, you know what I wanted to bring to your attention to? All 3 of the cards that you got in the beginning from my tarot deck, my original tarot deck, were major arcana cards, which is huge because There's major arcana cards, which are like the sun, the stars, the moon, the lovers, and stuff like that. And then there's the minor arcana, which is like the Two of Cups, the Three of Cups, the Pentacles, stuff like that. The major arcana cards usually indicates when there's a big, major event happening or about to happen in your life. All three of your cards were major arcana cards, which means stop and listen carefully. It means that you're on the verge of something because all three cards are big major events. So something huge is either happening or going to happen. So please pay attention to this. The first card that you got was the Lovers card. Now, the Lovers represents harmony, love, attraction, soulmates. Usually that's the theme of it. Okay, but it also goes a little deeper. A lot of people don't realize it just doesn't always represent just that. It also talks about finding balance within yourself. Self-love, not just love with someone else. Self-love. It talks about finding that balance. You may feel unsure about choices that you have to make. You have some major decisions and choices coming up. You may think of it as a dilemma even. You may or may not. They're just some big decisions, and you're not sure how to make them. You're unsure of the choices to make. It's telling you to think hard and think smart, okay? Because these are important decisions, and don't look for an easy way out. Don't look for the easy way out. You have all the answers within you. So think hard and think smart, okay? So that card is a great card because it can go lovers either to someone else or self-love. So whichever way that pulls for you, there you go. Then the second one you got was the Judgment in the reverse position. Now that represents some indecisiveness, some self-doubt, just like the Lovers card where it said you may, be questioning, your choices, indecisiveness, self-doubt, not learning from past karmic lessons, malicious gossip, either coming from you or about you, being judged or judging others too harshly. So this card it links with the first one when it talks about the indecisiveness, the self-doubt, but it also talks about, some gossip, judgment. So whether it's coming from you or to you, this is something that might be going on right now. Then the third card was the Moon, and the Moon in the reverse position. I am so congested. I am so sorry. I can barely even hear myself talk. It's awful. Okay, so the Moon reversed represents releasing fears, secrets being exposed. If you've been, okay, I love this. If you've been feeling depressed, it represents getting better and seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. And again, that just goes back to the Lovers when it talks about choices to make, and you're nervous about it. And then you go to Judgment and it's saying there's indecisiveness, self-doubt. And then you go to the Moon and it's saying you're going to finally release these fears. You're going to see a light at the end of the tunnel. Everything's going to be okay. Okay? Then when I blend it and I add in the Newt card, okay, the goddess Newt, that symbolizes hope, clarity, and you ready for this? A light at the end of the tunnel. There's your light. There's the light that your Moon card was talking about. It's with your goddess Newt card. The light at the end of the tunnel. It represents new plans. And it also represents somebody who may be an artist or an entertainer or somebody in that field. The next card was the Moonology card, the Moon in Pisces. And that asked for you to meditate and contemplate. So it talks about dreams and romance. And what it wants you to do is whatever it's saying, not what it wants you to do, but whatever situation that you need healing from, because that's what this card is talking about. It's talking about dreams and romance, And soulmates and poetry. I forgot that part. So dreams, romance, soulmates, and poetry, which to me sounds a lot like the Lover's card. And it's saying the situation, whatever situation you're talking about, is being healed. Face your fears. Again, that's the same as the Lover's card, because the Lover's card was saying that there was choices to make, unsurety, stuff like that, feeling unsure about things. And this is saying face your fears. And then the last one is the Isis. And the one you got with the Isis is the Knot of Isis. Energetic stabilization with the buckle of the beloved. The Knot of Isis represents that you are currently integrating high vibrational energy. Okay, so your dreams, your intuitions, any communication that you believe you've been having with spirit that you've been not sure, you're wondering if, is this really happening? Did I really hear that? Are my dreams really meaning anything? Yes. Yes to all of the above. It's all absolutely real. Your high vibrational energy, because you're integrating all that, you're going to be in high communication with spirit. So there'll be a lot of psychic intuitive going on. So that was the last card for pile deck number 2. And I hope that resonated with you. Again, like I said to people who chose number 1, please feel free to either leave a comment or DM me telling me how it resonated. Or again, you don't have to give me all your details, but you know, I'd love to hear. Now, let's go ahead and venture over to pile deck number 3. So for those of you who picked Kissy Lip deck pile number 3, this is your reading. The first card that you got in the General Tarot card, the Empress. The second card, the Five of Swords. And the last card, the Four of Swords in the reversed position. Okay, so we got those 3. Now we'll go to the Oracle cards. The Goddess card that you have in your reading, Radha. The Moonology card is Waxing Crescent Moon. Have faith in your dreams. And your Goddess Isis card is Abundance of Sothis. Stellar blessings of the celestial goddess of abundance. So people who chose pile deck number 3, this is your reading. Now when you get the Empress in a reading, it represents harmony, creativity, fertility, beauty, feminine energy, nature, things of that kind of fashion. People may be drawn to you at the moment because they're sensing all of this energy coming from you. The Empress is a very powerful person because it represents fertility. It could represent a mother type figure, someone with that kind of love. Okay, the second card that you got was the Five of Swords. And that card represents walking away, defeat, giving up, lack of communication, possibly deception may be involved, not necessarily, but possibly. Standing up for oneself, okay, and fighting back. So this card is a little more trickier. It seems as though there might be a situation where you may need to walk away from something, but you'll be standing up for yourself and fighting back. They do warn that it may not be an easy battle, but you will win if you stand strong by your own, truth. And then the third card is the Four of Swords. Now that one's in the reverse position. And that means that you'll be finding mental strength, coming out of isolation, slowly recovering and healing. So whatever's going on, it seems it's either going to be or already has been a bit of a battle, not the best one, but it says or shows that healing is happening. So whatever has happened or is going to happen, again, everything will be okay. You just have to have that faith and knowing that you're really in control. You are your own creator of your life circumstances. So as long as you know, okay, I see what's happening here. And that's pretty much what the cards do. They warn you so you could possibly even avert disaster and fix it before it happens. So the goddess card you got was Radha, goddess Radha. And that symbolizes innocence, close to nature. Again, like the Empress, the nature card. Self-love. It says to go slow, have patience, and persevere. Go slow, have patience, and persevere. This all seems to blend. And it says, this might also represent somebody who's either studying or considers studying, expanding their studies, because it represents education. Okay? The Moonology card was the waxing crescent. Have faith in your dreams. The situation is still taking shape. So whatever you're talking about, whatever you're inquiring about, it says the situation is still taking shape. Don't give up. Stay focused. Be patient. Another card, the Radha card, was saying what? Go slow and have patience. And now the Moon card is saying stay focused and be patient. And then your Isis card was abundance of Sothis, okay? So if you've been dealing with negative circumstances like financial, career, love, all of this is about to turn. All of it's about to turn. So again, stay focused, stay patient, and go slow. It's all coming. It's all unfolding. That was your reading for everyone who chose pile deck number 3. I hope it resonated with you. Now, let's venture over to the final pile deck of this series today. Kissy Lip pile deck number 4. To those of you who chose pile deck number 4, this is your reading. First card, the King of Cups in the reverse position. I'm so sorry. Second card, the Five of Wands in the reverse position. Third card, Justice. The Oracle cards. The Goddess card you got was Fortuna, the Goddess Fortuna. The Moonology card, Balance, Spirituality, and Practicality, Full Moon in Pisces. And the Isis card, Pillar of Light, Descent of the Star of Isis. Everyone who chose Kissy Lip pile deck number 4, this is your reading. Okay, people who chose card deck number 4. Sorry if it seems to be getting dark. The sun's going down, so it's getting a little darker in here. The first card that you got was the King of Cups in the reverse position. Excuse me. Now, usually when you get that cup, it represents an emotional, it represents emotional immaturity for the most part. So there's emotional immaturity, but it could specifically deal with a male. Not necessarily, but it could, because it's the King card. So it could be you, it could be someone else, but it represents emotional instability and immaturity. Could be a male or someone with a male energy. So a female that could have a kind of a male energy. Uncaring, unkind, anxious, lack of balance. And it could also represent an affair with a married man. So there's some things that that card represents. When you take the Five of Wands reversed, that one talks about compromise, ending of conflicts, peace, harmony, and finding solutions. And then the third card was Justice, which talks about truth and integrity, speaking your truth, and staying balanced. So again, the balance was in the Five of Wands. Again, they all seem to ladder on each other. The next card, when we go to the Goddess card, we have the Goddess Fortuna. And that means time for new direction, change, and blessings. So that's really cool. The full moon in Pisces, that's what you got for your Moonology card. And that represents balance. Again, this talks a lot about balance. Spiritual and practicality. Your head is in the clouds. Follow your intuition. It also represents soulmates. So it's a very to me, it's kind of a really cutesy card. Your head's in the clouds. Follow your intuition. Your intuition, not your head in the clouds, but follow your intuition. It also represents soulmates. And then we have the Pillar of Light for your Isis card. And that talks about meditating. It really, really stresses meditation for your answers. Any answers you're looking to get, there are beings of light, angels, spirit guides, whatever you wish to call them, that want to communicate with you. They want to help you. Meditation isn't always as hard as it seems. I'm going to do a video on that soon. I've helped some people with it who really thought, I can't do this, it's impossible. And when I tried to explain, when I did explain to them and told them how simple the technique really was, and it's not anything that they probably even thought it was, they were blown away and have not stopped thanking me for helping them, because it's helped them with because these are artists in the music industry. It's helped with their music, it's helped with their focus. So I will do a video on that soon too. But that was your reading for pile deck number 4. I hope everyone resonated, enjoyed it. I would love to get feedback, since that was my first time doing that type of reading. Had a lot of fun with it. I'm sorry about my condition right now. Very nasally and congested. But as always, joy, justice, love, and blessings to each and every one of you. I love you all.